I'm going to take some time to figure it out. And I think I owe it to my teammates that if I do come back, that it's going to be something that it's a wholehearted decision. I'm not half-assing it, and I'm fully here for them. And I think I could play. It's just whether or not I'm motivated or it's the best decision for me.
What does this mean if the Chiefs part ways with him? What does this look like for them?
Yeah, I contacted a couple people in the organization case Sunday morning, and I was just like, so I want to know about the speeches one. And they were like, well, Travis cried, but he cried last year. So I was trying to get a gauge on his speech to the team on Saturday night. And I was just like, what's your gut? And they were both like, my gut tells me this is it. But he hasn't said anything in either direction to anybody here. And we know he loves coming to work. We know he actually really enjoys being here in the building. But he mentioned that one part where he's like, I don't want to half-ass it at all. He practices as hard as anybody. And he doesn't feel like if he doesn't practice hard and practice that way, he's not giving everything to the team and everything to himself. So the people in the building believe he has lost a step. They still believe he can completely play. But there's so much on the other side as well. I think there's just a lot like really on his shoulders and what's next. Do you keep playing because it's what you know? I mean, this is a massive decision, and it's a massive decision for the future of the organization. Like Tyreek Hill leaving was one thing. This is a completely other thing for Patrick and Andy Reid.
Let's look at some of these free agents that we've each has his hands full this offseason. Of course, there's the Travis piece. I think he's earned his right to sort of figure out what's best for him, what he wants. But then look at some of these other guys that are up that they have to sort of figure out. And then they have to figure out how to protect Patrick. What do you make of this as far as like maybe their biggest priority going into free agency? I can't believe the Combine's literally like next week.
Yeah, here we go. Trey Smith might end up being the highest paid guard in NFL history. There's some teams that have some rookie quarterbacks that have a lot of money, whether it's the Commanders or the Patriots or say even the Bears or maybe Houston down there. Like teams are going to be active going after him at the guard spot. Do they go and pay him to keep him in Kansas City? Remember, they paid Creed Humphrey, who's a great center for them. And bringing that interior together was so important to protect Patrick, but left tackle's been an issue. I've talked to Spags and those guys on the defensive side of the ball. Like, they were joking during the AFC Championship game. I was talking to them on the field, They were like, I don't even want to think about life without Nick Bolton. Like, that he runs everything on that defense. He's got a photographic memory. He's a great communicator, blitzer, like, great against the run. Like, there's some big decisions to be made. What I think is interesting for Kansas City is that, like, they keep their coaching staff intact, and that continuity gives them the advantage. But for the first time, like over the last couple of years, Veach has lost a lot of his top lieutenants. Like Mike Borgonzi leaves and becomes the GM in Tennessee. Brant Tillis leaves and went to Carolina the year before, and Ryan Poles the year before. So front office and decision makers, he's a little bit, different than it's been that they've built well through the draft. And I think they have to do that again. I had some big decisions. I think if Travis does leave, I wouldn't be surprised if they swung for like a receiver to kind of fill that.
It's so crazy because it's like, you think they have all this depth and they bring in these guys. I don't know that the experiment worked. I don't know that I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what Patrick has to say and just sort of like the decisions they make. Like, do they want some of these guys back? Do they want to swing bigger? Do they want to get a different sort of a veteran presence? Like that full screen wasn't even like Charles Omenihu.
That was like a third of them.
I was just saying he's not on there. Like it's a little interesting.